Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar from A&D Mortgage, prepping your loans for fast closings. I'm Carl Holman, Communications Manager here at the company, and this is our inaugural simulcast on all of our social media platforms. So I want to wish everybody on the East Coast a good afternoon and everybody on the West Coast a good morning. And if you're joining us from around the world, happy whatever time of the day it is for you. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So today, since we are live streaming, we are not doing any RSVPs. We'll ask you guys to type your questions in whichever platform you're watching. They will be visible to us on the stream, and then we'll post the questions as we get closer towards the end of the formal presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first speaker, or our only speaker. His name is George Chaus. So let's go ahead and enable his stream. There you are. Greetings, George.
All right, thanks, Carl, for the introduction.
All right.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I believe that today's topic is the answer for the most popular question I receive daily, which is how fast you can close the loan, guys. So let me introduce myself first. Yeah, as Carl said, my name is George House. I'm the account executive, and I've been with the company for a while. And I'm so glad to be here with you guys today and to share with my own experience and tips on how I can make my brokers happy. So, yeah, let's proceed with the presentation then.
All right. Great. All right. So for those people who don't know anything about us, George, go ahead and tell our viewers about the company, where we're located.
Yeah, let's have a look at a brief background of our company. So AD Mortgage is a full-service direct mortgage lender. We've been on the market since 2005, and our specialty is non-QM products. However, we also do conventional and FHA programs. We also have the partnership with the Imperial Fund, which was founded in 2014 to invest in non-QM, hard money, and commercial mortgages. And with its tremendous support, we've been able to develop our own guidelines and provide great flexibility to our partners in terms of qualifying their borrowers. On this slide, you can see our footprint. So right now we are licensed in 30 states across the US. So if you want to become a wholesale partner or a correspondent partner, you can easily do it in these states. Moreover, 40 states in the US, they do not require any license to do the business purpose loan. So in case you have your own LLC and you have some real estate investors as your clients, you can run these deals through us as well.
All right. Great. And I believe you have an example that you wanted to show us of a recent deal that you closed.
Yeah, actually, before we proceed to the tips, I just wanted to draw your attention to the recently closed loan that I had with my broker. It was a self-employed borrower who qualified under two-year P&L program with 754 score at 85% LTV. And actually, once I received the call, I was told that the fast closing is required. So we've discussed the deal on 27th of July, and actually the file was submitted. And from this slide, you can actually see that it took us only 15 days to close these loans, to close this loan. So yeah, right now I just wanted to show you our loan process, and basically we can start from there.
Okay. Great. So
So
to walk us through the steps of how people do business with us.
yeah, actually on this slide you can see that we've divided our loan process into 10 stages. You can see that our turn times are quite fast, so we understand that the market is changing, everything is changing, the home prices are rising, rates are rising, and basically we believe that in such dynamic environment we need to adjust our turn times just to make it happen as fast as possible. That is why I will share with you what should be done at every single stage to proceed as fast as possible.
Great. All right. So let's get to the first step.
So the first step, and actually to be honest with you guys, from my perspective, this is the most important step along the whole process, because you need to understand and let your account executive understand what actually the scenario is. So before you submit the file, just reach out to your account executive and address all the questions and concerns regarding your scenario, discuss the programs, discuss guidelines, discuss eligibility. So you can just get a clean picture of what you should expect during the process. You can also discuss the state restrictions because yeah, you may know that some states they have their own regulations, let's say on points and fees, prepayment penalty, etc. So it's better to know from the very beginning what to expect. And our account executives are extremely experienced, and they will provide you with the all information you may know and you need to know actually. So let's proceed to some examples on why it is important to discuss the deal before submitting it. So you all know that the most popular program right now among investors is DSCR, which requires no income and no employment information. In A&D, we do require ownership of any property within the last 24 months. So let's say you have a first-time home buyer who is renting his current residence. And in this case, we will either need an exception or we can go with a super prime investment program, let's say with bank statements that doesn't have that requirement. So if your borrower receives plenty of income, we are good to go with the second option. One more example is when your borrower who is using his or her bank statements to qualify. And it happens quite often that, especially after the COVID-19, the borrower can have plenty of the non-sufficient funds on his bank statements. Thus, in this case, it's better to go with a P&L program, which doesn't require any bank statements to be provided. So it's better to know, yeah, as I said from the very beginning, that we also have that P&L program, and we can easily go with that without just any exceptions. And the last but not least is the scenario with 5-unit property. As you may know, we are doing up to 4 units on our non-KM programs. However, you can discuss with your account executive on whether the exception is possible in case your borrower has good credit, plenty of assets, and low DTI. So my major point here is that there might be some scenarios that are ineligible, but still your borrower can have compensating factors. And as I said, we have a great flexibility and we can provide you with a good solution.
Yeah, I think you wanted to talk about what types of properties that we allow. So
I've mentioned a 5-unit property that is actually ineligible. I just want to have a brief look on the property types that are eligible here at A&D Mortgage. So despite doing single family residences, 2-4 units, warrantable and non-warrantable condos, we also do condotels. We do rural properties, we do short-term rentals, manufactured housing, and mixed-use properties as well.
yeah, and last week we covered the rural and manufactured housing properties. So there's a recorded webinar that people could watch anytime they want on that. So okay, so yeah, so we could briefly give a highlights of the programs that you've mentioned on the next couple slides.
So yeah, these are the income types that we have here at A&D. I believe we have a separate webinar devoted to this topic, so I want to skip it by now. So in case you're interested in, you just can go to our website or to our YouTube channel and look through these webinars, and you will get the better insight on what to expect on these programs. Yeah, and what are the guidelines.
Okay, I'll just leave them up here for 2 seconds for people to see. All right, so let's get into pricing the loan.
Yeah, basically, before you submit the file, you can price every non-KM loan that you have, every non-KM scenario with our quick pricer. You just go to admortgage.com, or you can use that link that you see here on the slide, and you will be able to just get a quote for every scenario. You will see the eligibility, you will see the max LTV, the minimum FICO for the program, and you can actually price every single loan that you have.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk about submitting the file and what steps people need to take for that.
So yeah, after you have structured your deal with your AE, the next step is to submit the file to our portal. So before you submit, just make sure that you have your own credentials to our new portal. So since as of June 1st, we've launched our new LOS system. So just make sure you have the credentials to it. Also make sure that you have the 3.4 file because it makes the submission process super easy and prompt. If you have any issues during the submission, so you have some hard stops in our portal, do not hesitate to contact your account executive or our broker support team, which is available 24/7. You can see their contact information on the slide below. So speaking about documents that we need in order to submit the file, So be ready to upload the docs that are needed for the disclosures. So it's the ID, the credit report, and a purchase contract. If you are submitting a bank statement loan, you can benefit from our concierge service as well. So you don't have to bother yourselves with calculating the qualifying income of the borrower. You just upload those bank statements to our portal and yeah, to our concierge service, and they will provide you with the income calculations just within 48 hours.
Cool. All right, so let's talk disclosures.
Yeah, initial disclosures are released within 24, 48 hours, depending on the volume. So once you receive the initial package, just make sure that you and your borrower sign them as soon as possible so you can order the appraisal. To do that, you can use our AD Appraisal Center. It's also the centralized platform that was recently launched, and it makes the process of ordering the appraisal as easy as possible. You're able to order the appraisal from 20, yeah, I believe 20 different AMCs without even being signed up with them. So actually this platform is designed for you guys just to shop around, to get quotes, to see what are the turn times of a different AMC, and actually place the order with the AMC you prefer most. If you are interested in how this technology works, you can watch the webinar devoted to this topic. So yeah, it's also available on our YouTube channel and on our website.
All right, and then once you've disclosed it, I guess we get to approve it.
Yeah, so once the file is disclosed, it goes directly to the underwriter, and then 24 hours, you will get the initial approval on the file. So you can see the list of the conditions under the approval letter button that is on the right-hand side of the portal. And also you can go under the conditions tab and yeah, conditions and document upload tab under the loan summary menu. So actually this stage I believe is the most time consuming since we need to start working on the conditions, providing different documents, but still there are some tips that can help you to get over this process faster. So first of all, try to get at least 80% of the conditions as soon as possible and submit them to our portal. Because right now we have like a technology that puts you and gives you some advantage if you submit a lot of the conditions at once. So if you want a faster review, just try to submit at least 80% of them. I usually receive questions from my brokers on who is the assigned underwriter on the file, who is the assigned processor on the file, and actually you can see that information under the loan contacts menu. So just go there, click to AD Mortgage, and you will see every single person who is responsible for your file. So you can see the contact information of the underwriter, of the processor, of the disclosure specialist. So everyone who is doing something to your file, you will be able to reach out to them through that menu.
Okay, and then we get to the step that I know that most people are probably eager.
Not yet,
Oh,
not yet. Yeah, we're still working
maybe
with
I'm maybe
conditions,
I'm
so yeah.
maybe I'm a little too eager.
Yeah. So if you see that the condition says that exception is required, so make sure you contact your account executive as soon as possible to discuss the compensating factor that the borrower has. One of the most common hard stops that I have on my files is that when the file is closing in LLC name, we need all the documents to reflect the buyer's name as LLC. So let's say you have a borrower who would like to close his investment like business purpose loan under the LLC name, then we need the purchase contract, the insurance, the title docs, the appraisal, everything to reflect the buyer as the LLC. So just please make sure that you order that documents correctly and we don't have, that back and forth during the underwriting. So also, yeah, once the underwriter reviews the conditions, he may put a comment that something is missing, some extra document is required. So if you see that you've uploaded the document to the condition, but for some reason it wasn't cleared, just pay attention to the comment that the underwriter leaves just next to the condition.
Right. Now the eager part.
And yeah,
Closings.
guys, yeah, actually the most desired part of the loan process, right? So which is actually clear to close. Once the file is CTC, you will get the email update with a link for our closing schedule portal, where you can see the available dates and time, and actually you can book your appointment. Actually, you can see the screenshot from that portal on this slide. So let's say today is Monday, and you are booking your closing on Friday. So don't worry if you don't have any update from us up till Thursday, since our closing team contacts you and the title just one day prior to closing. So if you have the confirmation that your closing was booked, just don't worry, our closer will contact you just one day prior to closing. And basically, I believe we can move to the end of the process, which
Okay.
is the funding. So,
This is
envelope,
definitely,
I believe,
definitely,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, actually, this is the final stage of the loan process. So once we receive the signed docs, we give you the funding authorization, and yeah, my congratulations to you. Loan has been funded. I hope that all the loans that you have with the A&D mortgage will go as smooth as possible. And I just wanted to sum up some key features that you need to follow, yeah, in order to get the loan closed faster. So as I said previously, I do believe that the process heavily depends on how you collaborate with your account executive. Since both of you know what are like the concerns and the issues on the file, you can solve them and collaborate together to make the process moving. Also, try to order the appraisal and title paperwork from the very beginning to save time. Most of the documents, they do require the mortgagee clause. So once you submit the file, you can request that mortgagee clause from your account executive. So you don't have to wait up until the underwriter approves the file, and you can actually start working on the conditions. Try to upload everything as fast as possible. You can also use our services to make your journey easier. We do have the Appraisal Center, the Quick Pricer, the AD Studio, and our brand new LOS system. So we are just here to help you with anything you may have. And if you have been just recently signed up with our company, contact your account executive in terms of providing you some training session on how to submit the loan, on how to place the order in appraisal center. We're always welcome to help you and to make your journey easier.
All right, we'll get to the questions in just a second. So, as George mentioned, some of our technologies, I'll just reiterate them very quickly. The quick pricer we've covered. It's You can price all your non-QM scenarios to your heart's content. It's very quick and intuitive. You don't even have to be a mortgage person to be able to use it. So, if I can do it, anybody can do it. The Appraisal Center is again a centralized appraisal management platform. We've got I think as George mentioned, somewhere between 15 and 20 AMCs that you can order one from every appraisal center and manage it all through there. And then AD Studio is our centralized marketing platform. It's all web based, functions very similar to the platform Canva that I think most people have seen either on TV or maybe attempted to use. And we've got templates on there for email, social media, product flyers, business cards, pretty much anything that you might need to market yourselves is out there. And then as a service, we provide these free webinars every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Um, we vary between technology, process, product. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing one deep dive next week with Mark Glazer on foreign nationals and non-permanent residents. It's a big client base for us. And then we'll take a look at our website the week after, help you navigate around there and find some overlooked parts where you can find key documents, news and information that we provide every day, access to all the different portals that George and I have mentioned. The week after, we will look at our various non-QM investment loan products, and then the one on the 13th will be a bit of an open topic currently with our broker support team. So we'll have that one announced probably a little bit closer towards the end of the month. And then we're streaming currently live on all four of our major platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and then a group that we're participating in called Non-QM Exchange. Um, I often get the question um, about recordings and when can they miss the webinar? They want us to be able to see it. So we do record every webinar, and we post them on admortgage.com/learning-center. That's usually done within a 24-hour period. Um, these are recording, and the recordings on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn should be available within minutes of us closing the webinar down. Afterwards, we'll also put a post up to have our viewers that are watching us give us a quick set of answers, or answer a quick set of questions about how we did, how they heard about us, any other additional topics that they might be interested in hearing about. So we really promote interactivity with both our audience, our brokers, and people that are maybe just starting to do business with us. And again, all of our social media platforms, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We do have a news chat that's linked in through a platform called Telegram. It's primarily European based, but it's pretty important. Or sorry, it's very popular, and it's a little bit more secure than something like WhatsApp. So we're on there, and you can pretty much at the click of a single button find out rates, see any videos we've produced, watch some of the past webinars. So it's a great tool that we encourage people to download from Google Play or the App Store, and then just subscribe to that @mortgage_bot and find out more information. And then lastly, we're part of a group called Non-QM Exchange that really is a forum for all of the non-QM lenders. So it's a pretty lively community. And if you have any loan scenarios and you either can't get in touch with your account executive, you can put them there. We're monitoring that multiple times throughout the course of the day. So if you put a loan scenario in, you'll get an answer from somebody here probably within a few hours. And then last but not least, we would of course encourage you to become a partner with us if you're not. Um, and you can do that at our website. Just go to the main page, and there's a button up in the upper right to become a partner, and it's just follow that step-by-step process, and you'll be doing business with us fairly quickly. Okay, and with that, let's open it up to questions. I haven't seen any come through yet on the chat feature, but what are some common questions that you're getting through the process, George?
Well,
That you maybe
usually,
have covered,
yeah,
but couldn't hurt to
u-
reiterate.
usually my brokers ask whether we can order the appraisal before the file is submitted.
Mhm.
So actually, there is the possibility. So you can submit the file and then order the appraisal, because you know that all the appraisal should contain the loan number. But in case you have some urgent file, and let's say you are just waiting from our compliance team to approve you, it is possible. But just make sure that your borrower wants to proceed with the file, because the payment link is sent directly to the borrower. So yeah, not to make any confusion.
Okay. All right. So if you're watching us live, again, could just put the questions into the chat, and we will answer them as they come in. And if we don't get anything within the next minute or so, we will presume there are no questions, and George has done an outstanding job covering the material. And we will shut down the rest of the webinar, and everyone can
Well,
proceed with the rest of
also,
the day.
I can build on the appraisal thing. So right now, yeah, we do understand that the market situation is changing, everything is changing, and as of August 1st, we do accept appraisal transfers without the transfer letter,
Mhm.
and actually, we do not require to change the lender name in the appraisal in the appraisal docs. So in case you have some file that unfortunately you will not be able to close with some other lender, you can just go and submit the file to us, and we won't require any changes to the appraisal to be done. So basically, yeah, this is just a good feature that helps a lot in terms of, yeah, current market situation as well.
Yeah, yeah. So if they've got a deal that was pretty close to done, and then something happened, they can just transfer it over, and we can move just as quickly or quicker. All right. Um, I did notice one thing we didn't cover really quick, which is when people close, the methods that they can do that. I know we had the little "Did you know" down in the corner.
Yeah, actually, we have a lot of ways how we can close the deals, and actually some of them are extremely popular among the foreign national borrowers. So since we are doing the foreign national programs, we do have the closing at an embassy. We do have the mail away closing. Also, we do accept the power of attorney. But let's say you have the file which will be closing with the power of attorney. Just make sure that you send that document before like the closing is happening. So the underwriter should approve that document. So you can contact your account executive and get the approval during the loan process as well.
Okay. We did get a question come in about whether they can contact the underwriter to ask any questions on conditions.
Yeah, sure. Actually, you can see the contact information of the underwriter just on loan contacts menu. So you can either call or email the underwriter regarding any questions you have. So our underwriters are quite open um, to communicate and explain what actually is required because, yeah, this is just the mutual process of getting the file and closing the file. So basically, yeah, you can easily ask all the questions and address all your doubts to our underwriters.
Okay. All right. I see one question for some clarification on that 11:30 time. Um, since most of our office is in the East Coast of the United States, if somebody's on the West Coast, did their closing documents need to be out by 11:30 Eastern time or Western?
So once you are booking your closing, you will have the option in case you are in California. You will choose the option for California, and of course, our closing team will adjust its schedule uh, like to your time zone. But this is just the basic requirement. So let's say we have the investment purchase or primary purchase. As I said, our closing team contacts the title just one day prior to closing. And in case you want to fund the same day, it's better to have the closing docs to be sent, just the final closing docs to be sent by 11:30. It doesn't mean that the docs should be signed by 11:30. It just means that the like our closing team and the title should be balanced,
Hmm.
and we can just release the wire.
Okay, great. That was a good question. Okay, I don't see any more that have come in. So I think with that, George, we can wrap it up. So I want to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch this. Again, it'll be recorded, so I know there'll be others who'll follow afterwards. So if there's any questions that people watching this later have, they can contact anybody here at the company. We can post up, George, your contact information if that's okay with you. Otherwise, they can email questions to marketing at admortgage.com or communications at admortgage.com. And then again, all these videos will be available either within the next few minutes or on our website within 24 hours. So again, thank you for all the hard work in putting this together, and we appreciate your time and all of our viewers. So we will see you all again next week.
Yeah, thanks, Carl.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Carl. Yeah, bye bye, everyone. Bye
Bye.
bye.